Hey everyone, and welcome to the Becoming Table Talk. This is the space where we sit down together, we breathe deep, and we talk honestly about what it means to lead with clarity, confidence, and intention, and without losing ourselves in the process.
Hi, everyone. I'm Shawn, recreation therapist and empowerment coach. I help women understand their energy so they can show up as leaders without carrying emotional weight that is not theirs.
Hi, I'm LaTrise, and as an executive assistant, I live where boundaries, structure, and systems collide. I help women protect their capacity and navigate leadership with peace, not pressure.
And I'm Crystal. I'm an occupational therapist and a creative strategist. So I love helping women design workflows and environments that feel good. We can spark creativity and support that sustainable leadership.
Yes.
And so I'm Dr. Laryssa. I'm a therapist, a leadership coach, and a co-founder of Sisters in Healing. And this podcast is where BIPOC women in the helping professions come to talk leadership, legacy, emotional honesty, and the evolution it takes so to rise without us burning out. So
Yeah,
let's get into today's conversation. I'm excited about this one.
me too.
Today's topic is about capacity. And I think
Mhm.
it's so on time for us to talk about this in this season.
Mhm.
I need you to hear a few things very clearly, okay?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
this is not about productivity
Mhm.
and it's not about stretching yourself thinner,
Mm.
but in actuality, capacity is about what your mind, body, and nervous system can hold without you collapsing into that survival mode.
Yeah.
And oftentimes that's where we're living anyway. Um, as a leader who is overwhelmed, overextended, or overfunctioning, let me tell you that there is no strategy, there is no kind of planning, and there is no vision board that is going to hold when you're
Mm.
functioning from that place.
Yes.
We're not here to glorify this grind culture. I'm grinding off
Mhm.
about that. We're here
Mhm.
to build
Mhm.
leadership that is going to actually last, right? It's about lasting.
Mhm.
So let's just dig right on into what capacity actually is.
Mhm.
Because most leadership conversations, they will focus on the output. What are you able
Mhm.
to produce?
Right.
But true leadership is built on what your internal architecture and how that's set up.
Yes.
Um, your internal capacity, your internal ability, and it's shaped by the emotional load that is present, the cultural responsibilities that are present, the mental clarity, as well as being aware of what season of
Mm.
life that you are currently in. Shawn, if you would, please talk to us about how you see capacity showing up in the women that you are working with.
Phew, that was a lot, Laryssa,
Mm.
and all true. Capacity is everything, ladies. So embrace that. No. When a woman ignores her limits, she ends up functioning outwardly while silently drowning.
Oof,
Feel that.
Yeah.
felt it.
I see leaders holding tension in their shoulders, running on 3 hours of sleep. Know about that. And always saying, I'm fine, I'm good, when they are all showing signs of overload. Capacity isn't weakness, ladies. It's not. It's just truth.
Mhm.
And you lead differently when you honor the truth of what your system can handle.
I like
Mhm.
that, Shawn.
Yes, Shawn, specifically for BIPOC women,
Mm-hmm.
because we were raised to carry what others drop.
Yes.
Family expectations. Many of us are our family's office manager. We're the family manager.
Mm.
Workplace demands, or leaders in our workplace, emotional labor. Our capacity gets drained by things nobody ever names.
Mhm.
So when you keep absorbing everyone else's needs, it's not long before our leadership starts operating from depletion instead
Yes.
of clarity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the tricky part because we come out looking sugar sharp, don't we? We are
Yes,
put
indeed.
together. We are on point, and we are still operating at full capacity.
Right.
Yes.
So you can check all those boxes, you can
Mhm.
run the meetings, and you can still feel mentally foggy and sometimes resentful. So,
Mm.
how can you understand your capacity? When you start to understand it and you're thinking about all those different things, you're making sharper decisions. And then
Mhm.
you're creating healthier boundaries and you're leading from stability rather than that survival.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
This is all about sustainability, and capacity is the foundation of that, right? It's not having more hours, creating more hours, or, more hustle, but
Right.
it is really in being in tune with yourself and being honest with what you're actually feeling. Because we will feel a thing, but we will say it's something different.
Yeah.
We'll ignore it. So
Mhm.
that takes us to where things will start to quietly break down.
Yeah.
So before you can actually rebuild capacity, we
Mhm.
have to notice where those cracks are. And
Mhm.
it's sometimes those cracks come from habits that we have or have established that may have actually been inherited, is not habits that we have chosen.
Mm.
Mhm.
I would like for us to just break down what we like to call the big four. So I'm going to toss it over to you, Shawn.
Over responsibility. We all can relate to that one, right? So many women were raised to read a room before they learned to read themselves, okay? Grasp that, ladies. So at work, it shows up as soothing tension, softening truth, protecting ourselves from discomfort, holding emotional weight for the entire team. That's the big one. That invisible labor is capacity killer.
Number
That's
one.
exactly what it is. It's a capacity killer.
Yeah.
Right. We also number 2 is boundary drift. So you set a boundary, but when someone needs you, it shifts a little.
Mhm,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
You agree to one more meeting,
mhm.
one more favor, one more crisis, not because you want to, but because you feel responsible.
Yeah.
And every time the boundary moves, the capacity leaks. There's another crack.
Mm.
I
Mm-hmm.
keep thinking about like a tire, like you get that little slow leak, like,
Right. That's
Yes.
exactly right.
That's
That's
it.
exactly right.
and then you start having priorities without structure, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So we know what matters, we
Yes.
know what's important,
Mhm.
but then your day gets hijacked. So you're getting all the email alerts, ding, 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 and then you're getting the deadlines.
Mm.
And then you got
Yes.
people coming, hey, I got a quick question. It's never
Mm.
quick.
Nope.
And then you have other people's emergencies that you have to deal with.
Indeed.
And before you know it, what are we doing? You're reacting instead of leading.
Yes.
And then your calendar becomes a reflection of others' access to you, and it's not your purpose.
Nope. Look, then there is this big one.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
That is playing 5 roles that used to belong
Mm.
to an entire team. And
Mm.
is anybody familiar with that, where your workplace has lost 1 person, 2 persons, 3 persons, and now that's now my job, and now that's my job too. Oh, and that's my job too. So you're the leader, you're the counselor, you're the scheduler, you're the problem solver, you're the note taker, you are the emotional anchor. So your responsibilities continue to grow, but what doesn't grow with it is the support.
Mm.
Exactly.
And so that is how capacity will fracture.
Yes.
So just like take that in. I hope that you all are taking notes, that you writing this stuff down. So, and if you are listening to this in your car, then like play it back and then,
Right.
be able to jot some of these things down if it's resonating with you, because just
Mm.
because it is, that doesn't mean that it has to be and that it has to stay that way. So let's talk about what sustainable leadership actually looks like when capacity, becomes your compass. And
Yeah.
so let's break it down.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So I hear something a lot, and the people say, "Oh, that's above my pay grade. That's why you make the big bucks." And I'm
Uh-huh.
like, wait a second, hold
Mm-hmm.
on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That makes me
Mm-hmm.
think like, okay, how am I naming my actual capacity? So
Uh-huh.
I have to be honest with myself,
Mm-hmm.
not my superwoman on a good day self, not that capacity, but my actual capacity.
Yes.
And what do I need to ask myself? There are questions that I need to ask to see where I'm at and what my capacity actually is that day. So,
Absolutely.
what emotional weight am I carrying? You got your pencil, right? Because I'm spitting it off to you. And you need to know what's draining me the fastest, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because every day be like, okay, we start off with a certain amount of energy, and then some days it's like I'm zapped by noon. So
Mhm.
what things are draining you the fastest? And then how do you get that big burst again? So what's restoring you? What
Yeah.
things are restoring you? And then you also, this is the big one for me. What season am I in? We
Yeah.
got different seasons, ladies. So are we in survival season? Are we in stabilization season? Or are we in that expansion season?
Mhm.
And when you identify that, your decisions become cleaner and then your capacity becomes clearer.
Ooh.
Absolutely amen on that, Crystal. If life is chaotic, we already know it because we're living it every day, right? Like
Yeah.
that's where we get the adage, life be lifing,
Mhm.
right? So you can't lead like you're in an expansion. You
Mm.
can't. If you're in survival mode all the time, your leadership structure needs to be smaller and more protective. That's not regression, ladies. That's wisdom.
Yeah.
That's those gray hairs starting to pop up.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
So what you want to do is you want to match the season. You want to honor the season, and then you want to lead within that season.
Mhm.
That's right. You restructure your calendar. So your calendar should reflect priorities, not guilt, not excess,
Woo.
not pressure. So think about protecting your time, limit meetings,
Mhm.
grouping tasks, building recovery within the week. So
Mhm.
building restorative time, pausing before difficult conversation.
Mm,
A grounded leader will make grounded decisions.
yes.
I gotta repeat what Treese just said.
Hmm.
Your calendar
Yeah.
to reflect what? Priorities, ladies.
Yes.
Not guilt, because we all got that sense of guilt.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Not
do.
access and that pressure piece.
When
Child,
it's home, that it's home,
man, I was like,
Mm.
dang, Treese, you got me good on that one.
right? Y'all need to stop
So,
leading me.
right.
Mhm.
I'm like, look, like Treese, how'd you know?
Right.
Ladies, we need you to think about how you plan to redistribute some of that responsibility.
Yes.
So delegation is not dumping.
Mm-mm.
It's how you are able to develop others. So when you delegate, it creates space for others to rise.
Mm.
And then your team gets better when you stop doing everything alone. Superwoman.
Well, okay.
And it's like a coach on a basketball court. You've got people on the bench saying, "Hey, I want to play. I want to play.
Yeah. Yeah. Tag
Pass
me
me the
in.
ball."
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
you have to know when to do that. And
Absolutely.
when you're functioning at high capacity, it is okay, LaTrise, to give someone else the ball.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right now.
Mm-hmm.
Some roles and some habits and some expectations belong to an earlier version of you. That's maybe how you used to show up, and maybe because you had to, but now you're living in a whole new way.
Right.
And the way you're doing things must reflect that. So
Absolutely.
leadership requires you to let go
Mm.
of those old things, because in your new level, you can't carry that. You can't hold that
Right.
stuff.
You can't.
It will hold you back
Yes,
in
it will.
actuality, right?
Yeah.
So you have to be able to see yourself in the now,
That new era, right?
that new
Yes.
era, right?
That's right.
You got some
That's
snippets
right.
in here? What? Right. But releasing, we always just want to encourage you that in some these things that we're talking about and that we're asking
Mm-hmm.
for you to do, is
Right.
to understand that it's not making you weak. It's not making you.
Right.
It's not doing any of that.
Right.
What this is
Yeah.
strategy.
Absolutely.
You need strategy to be able to do the things that you're probably thinking about
Mm-hmm.
that's in your heart's desire.
Oh, yes.
It's the strategy, and that's what we're here for, and that's what we're here to talk about.
Absolutely, Laryssa. And that all ties into what? Emotional intelligence, your thinking skill. And it has to do with capacity. Capacity is not about doing less. Write that down. It's not about doing less. It's about leading from alignment,
Yeah.
right? Okay. Your system tells the truth. It's going to tell on you. You can hide as much as you think you're hiding, but people can see. So do yourself a favor and listen to it.
And while you're listening, why don't you honor it?
Mhm.
Honor that
How about that?
capacity.
Yes.
Because when you lead with intention instead of survival,
Mm-hmm.
everything changes, ladies. Everything changes.
Right, right. Your clarity builds trust. Your boundaries build credibility, and your presence builds culture.
Yeah.
Your
Boy, the 3 C's.
your presence builds culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
You are actually showing up in the here and now,
Mm.
Yes.
build the culture. And so if the culture ain't culturing, let's
Well, if you're not present, if you're not, if you're, yeah, there is a missing piece in the puzzle when you're not present.
Absolutely.
exactly.
Wow.
So
Wow.
look, this was I don't know about you, I don't know about y'all. I needed to hear this today.
Me
Right.
too.
You know,
Right.
like so we're coaches, and guess what? We're human and we
Right.
live life, but it is our lived experience that allows
Yes.
for us to show up,
Yes.
be able to say, hey, look, we've either gone through it and here's what we have found
Yes.
that
That.
has worked, that's been
That.
successful. So we just want to say thank you once again for taking the time and just joining us at the table. And so we want you to just, over this next week
Yeah.
and reflecting, what is my capacity leaking?
Mm-hmm.
Where's your slow leak?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
What can I reclaim?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can get it back.
Yes.
Becoming aware of it, right? So that
Right.
with my capacity leaking, that's you becoming aware. And once you become aware, then now what can I reclaim of that?
Mm-hmm.
And then where do I need support in doing so?
Right.
So sustainable leadership, it starts with you being honest with you. And know this, we are all becoming together. So
Yes.
we'll see you next time. We'll save you a seat.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Table.
At the table.